Libby's Movie Hunt. Happy Friday. I am your guest host, Kevin E. filling in. Libby is out this week, and we have a real short one today. I'm only discussing one film because it's the only one I've seen in the last week. I had advanced screening passes to the new Mission Impossible Fallout, and my mom actually joined me for that screening as well, so she's going to be here on the phone today. We didn't have time to get a last minute put the show together, so we didn't have time for her to come into the studio, so we're just going to do this over the phone. Mom, are you there?
I'm here, Kev.
All right, well, thanks for being on with us, as always.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Yeah, we went on Monday to see the new Mission Impossible, and I don't want to say the theater we saw it because one thing that was very distracting during the film, well, we're going to do the best we can to recall all the events, but we had some people behind us who were very vocal throughout the entire movie. Regarding everything that was going on. And it was just kind of a bummer as someone who's trying to critique the movie. You know, the house did not say anything to them, and we were kind of like, come on. But
I know. We wanted to tell them they're not in their living room at home.
And I'm usually not that picky about big movies, crowded movies, but I mean, this was like every single time I was trying to get into an action scene or an emotional scene or whatever it was, it just completely takes you out of the moment.
I know. If it hadn't been Mission Impossible, we might have bailed.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But also, if it had been a different movie, it may not have been as annoying because for the audience listening right now who are big fans of Mission Impossible, you know that the plots are pretty intricate. You kind of got to be, you know, people are swapping faces and being double-crossed and, you know, missions are going wrong and missions are going right. And it's, you know, a very eclectic mix.
You got to pay attention.
You got to pay attention. So
I don't think they were too worried about all of us paying attention either. So.
No. I totally agree. So even though that was going on, we were able to enjoy it, and I'm going to describe it as well as I possibly can. And it's still always good to see movies like that ahead of time. It's always fun. Also, for some reason, they didn't see my name on the list, so we had to kind of sweet talk our way in, which worked out well though, because we still did get to see the movie. Which makes me a little nervous. I'm like, but yeah, everything worked out there. So, plot-wise, this is it's weird to think, the 6th installment. So Tom Cruise has been doing these movies since, I want to say, roughly 93. I mean,
96.
Oh, 96. Okay. Later than I thought.
I did a little homework.
Oh, thank you.
The first one was 96, which really wasn't knock you out great.
No, not at all.
No, I was surprised they went on to do a second one, and then it really got started.
But that's 22 years now that he's been playing the Ethan Hunt role, which is a good run. But yeah, the first one did not blow me away either, and I really don't like the second one all that much. And the second one's probably my least favorite, directed by John Woo. When was that one? 98, 99, something like that?
2000.
2000. Okay, so wow, I'm always a couple years off. Usually I'm on point with these dates.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now, Kev.
Yeah, good.
You're usually correcting me.
I know. So, yeah, keep it up. And that one I did not like. I thought Tom Cruise's hair was stupid. And the fact that it was I love John Woo action films. Don't get me wrong. I love all the stuff he's done with, Chow Yun-Fat. But that style of action I thought didn't really fit a Mission Impossible movie at all. So yeah, the second one just kind of feels like a fish out of water in terms of the franchise as a whole. And then when 3 came out is when they really hit their stride, I think, and figured out what they wanted to do finally with the series.
Exactly. It was kind of knock your socks off good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, they brought in the big guns.
Definitely. And he was a great villain. It's when you finally see a little bit of the personal life of Ethan Hunt. They bring in Michelle Monaghan, who's his fiance in it, which added kind of a new element. So, yeah, 3 was just really, really good. And then 4, Ghost Protocol, is my absolute favorite so far.
Me too.
Which as of right now, I believe Rotten Tomatoes, critically, the one that just came out, or the one that's out today, is the highest rated. But I have to say Ghost Protocol still is my tops of the series.
Same here.
And it's when they first introduced Jeremy Renner and Paula Patton was great in it.
She was great.
Yeah, definitely. And they have that the killer action scene where he's on the outside of the building in Dubai, which is fantastic. And then Rogue Nation, which picks up a lot. They always have characters that come in and out. Ving Rhames, Luther character, Benji, Simon Pegg. And then Jeremy Renner, William Brandt, I believe is his character name, also in Rogue Nation, and then he's not in the new one. But Rogue Nation also another great entry to the series.
Yeah, and I like this Rebecca Ferguson, who shows up here in Fallout again.
Yes, very good.
She's really good. She's good with him.
I'm glad you brought that up because there are characters. If you remember in Rogue Nation, they're trying to stop this group called the Syndicate, and they do, but it has a lot of after effects, which is essentially the fallout from that is where this film gets its title.
Yeah.
But the overall plot, I think, if you can sum it up, because Mission Impossible movies are very deep, is a mission goes wrong and some plutonium ends up in the wrong hands, and they're trying to recover it before some sort of nuclear incident. Would you say that's about right?
That's it. Yeah, good.
And Henry Cavill plays someone, another operative who's appointed to the team, who's an outside guy that they don't really trust, and of course you have a reason not to trust him. He turns out to be the villain. I mean, you find that out very quickly, and it's not like a big spoiler. It's not like a big shocker at the end. You find out pretty quick he's, a foil to Ethan Hunt and his his mission team.
Yes, foil's a good word. Excellent. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to catch everybody up. Is there anything I've missed so far that you want to add?
No, I was just going. I wasn't. You sum them up better than me. I was just going to say, it was just balls out, craziest, greatest stunts yet. Lot more physical and less tech than they've been before on the stunts. Scenery unbelievable, twists, turns, fast paced, very complicated plot. You have to pay attention. It's just a really fun ride. And they do get personal again.
Yes.
So they're trying to give us a little personal side to Ethan, and they culminate a relationship that he's had before, which I think is nice.
And those emotional things are so few and far between, but when they happen, they're acted so well that they actually are kind of touching. They're kind of nice.
They are. I know. And he has such a cute human side. I think that's why people just love this character of Ethan Hunt. He's a little bit like James Bond or Captain Kirk. They have this human, not weak, but a very human thing about him. That there's a normalcy about him.
Well, you think that's why the reason a lot of people like the new Batman and Captain Kirk and Bond is that they're flawed characters.
Yeah.
That have this dark side. But Ethan is one of the most redeemable, I think, of any of them. As far
I think so too. This is a good guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Which can kind of be his downfall at times. In fact, in this, something he does is kind of a problem because he is such a good guy who has feelings and cares for people. And I think that's what we love about Ethan.
Definitely.
Great. He's the best at this kind of genre, I think. Just terrific.
I completely agree. I have a couple things I want to mention and still weigh in on, especially we have a couple new incoming characters, like Henry Cavill and newcomer Alec Baldwin in the Mission series. But before we do, I'm going to play a clip real quick. It's a 30-second trailer. So everybody take a look, and we'll be right back.
Mission Impossible. And now it's 94% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Go, 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 go! That's a right. Now? No, it's left. Sorry, I had the screen lock on.
Rolling Stone calls it off-the-charts spectacular. Entertainment Weekly says it will take you a breath away.
I see why you guys enjoy this so much.
It's the best mission yet. This is why you go to the movies.
You in or out?
Mission Impossible Fallout. Rated PG-13, July 27th.
Man, even the trailer is high octane, high adrenaline.
It really is. I just wonder how long he can keep this up.
Well, he looks great. I mean, for some reason, he seems to not be aging at all. He is, I think, 56, something like that.
Oh, my gosh. And he's like the Bionic Man. He's like the $10 million man.
You'd have no idea that he wasn't 46. I mean, doing this. For sure.
You really wouldn't.
That's one big difference, I think, between Tom Cruise and, say, Daniel Craig, who is now much noticeably older than when he started as James Bond, where Ethan Hunt, I think, is a much more even physical appearance.
Yeah. I wonder if Tom Cruise isn't the type that takes really good care of himself. I wouldn't think he does a lot of drinking or hard living or partying. He just doesn't seem the type.
No, he doesn't. He seems very, kind of one of
that could lend itself to why he looks so good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
One thing, I was just watching that trailer, though, and I'm glad I noticed the best thing to come out of the John Woo Mission Impossible 2 from 2000 is the motorcycle sequence, which became a staple in the series, and I love that.
Yeah.
It was totally absent in 3, but I want to say maybe not Ghost Protocol, but I think Rogue Nation and this one definitely, they bring back the motorcycle action scenes, which are great.
Yeah, I think that the opening scene of maybe Ghost Protocol. I'm trying to remember.
The opening scene of Ghost Protocol, I remember, is in he's escaping from prison.
Yeah, well, I think he's on a motorcycle at some point during Ghost Protocol.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, because he's so good on the motorcycle.
Yeah, the motorcycle stuff is always cool.
Yeah, it is.
Always cool. But yeah, for the most part, I agree with you. It's the most action-packed outing yet. There's scenes that you and I are watching, and we're kind of wondering, did he really do this? Because the Mission movies have always been a lot about practical effects. That's something they take pride in, is that he's actually doing it. Of course, it's from a safer place than the character in the film, but it's all actually happening. And
he's doing it. Yeah.
He's doing it. I remember before I saw Ghost Protocol, I saw a little featurette on the sequence where he's on the building in Dubai, and it was intense just to watch them filming it. Same with Rogue Nation. Then when he's hanging on the outside of a plane, he actually did that.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd watched the featurette before I saw this one. I think I tagged you in it on Facebook the other day, that the whole helicopter sequence towards the end is him actually piloting it,
that's unbelievable.
I wish I'd known before seeing it, because it makes it way more intense, I think.
Yes. Now that you tell me that, I can't believe that. This guy's amazing.
He's piloting that helicopter through that narrow canyon, and it's edge of your seat.
I can't imagine what he's insured for. $1 billion?
Yeah. I mean, there's one, I think it's his agent or someone was saying they're watching the filming, and they saw someone, because he's dangling on a rope from the helicopter at one scene, and said, "Please tell me that's not Tom."
Yeah.
And of course, it actually is him. And there's a coordinated scene where he falls from the top down to the bottom of the rope, and she said she saw that and didn't know it was part of the scene, and her heart almost stopped. So I can see where anyone in that position, it would be very nerve-wracking having, one of Hollywood's biggest movie stars.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be able to watch. If I had any real stake in it, I probably couldn't watch. He just, night and day, which is kind of Ethan Hunt light, compared to what he's done before. Night and day, he does a lot of crazy stuff, too. There are his own stunts. A more,
jovial, lighthearted kind of take on the action. But I really liked that movie. I kind of wish they would have made a sequel.
Yeah, that was good. I liked the whole thing. It was a good movie.
Yeah, me too.
Good action. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very
Cameron
good.
Diaz was good, too. Yeah.
But as far as Mission Impossible Fallout, cannot give it high enough popcorn worthy. I'm sure you're going to agree.
I agree. It has something for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So, yes, if you're heading out to the theater this weekend, you cannot go wrong with Mission Impossible. Hopefully you don't have the same experiences that we did, but it's good to know that even if there are some really obnoxious people in the theater, you can still enjoy it. It's still going to be great.
You can still enjoy it. The best is if you can get out on a weekday early, an early show on a weekday. That would be the best. You won't have too many people. My
personal favorite theater, I'll give them a little shout out. I love Cinemark Plano West. Super comfortable, good prices. When you go to a movie by yourself, the whole point of going by yourself is you like to minimize your human interaction. You just want to be in your own little world.
Exactly, yeah.
And you don't even have to go to the box office anymore. You just type in a little thing in the kiosk. You walk in. It's great. I like to go at like 11 in the morning, and hardly anyone's there. It's funny, though. Sometimes I'll get there at 11, and I'll see people leaving. And I'm like, man, how early did they have to get here to see a movie?
Boy, no kidding.
But it's nice to know you can go early. Yeah, breakfast at the movies.
They should run a promotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come for breakfast. Well, I thank you and Libby for letting me come to the screening. It was great fun. I loved every minute.
Oh, it's great. Me too. And before we go, I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes, which, by the way, Mission Impossible Fallout now holds a 98% fresh rating, which is stellar, of course. And then I was looking at most popular other stuff on there. I'm always checking other scores, and I looked at most popular TV out right now, and number one was, is it Sharper Objects?
Yes. And I just read the book.
Libby posted about it from the Libby's Movie Hunt page, and then I remember you mentioning it the other day, so I was wondering if you wanted to give us a little insight in that.
And I'm now watching the miniseries, and it stays pretty close to the book. It's an outstanding read. It's hard to tell you too much about it without giving things away, but there are some twists and surprises, and it's a terrific book and the series so far. Amy Adams, she's stellar. You know, she's good in everything. And she and Patricia Clarkson, one of my all-time favorites, and they're terrific in it. I highly recommend it.
Good. So, I mean, would you say, yeah, that it's if you're a fan of the series, you'll like it in terms of, you know, the source material?
Yes.
And if you haven't, you can still also enjoy it.
I think you can, yes.
Would you say even more so? Sometimes it's nice, you may say, people who don't have any frame of reference may enjoy it even more. That's how I felt about, like, the Da Vinci Code, because I hadn't read the book. I think that's why I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I do kind of, I'm a little sorry I read the book first, as I always am. But, yeah, I think it would be more fun to see it just from scratch, not having read the book.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it holds a 93% on Rotten. Would you say that you would agree with that for the most part?
Yes, I would say yes.
Awesome.
It's dark, and it takes you to a dark place, but you have to get into that frame of mind, and then you do enjoy it. It's not a happy story, so. But
is there something you can liken it to as far as it being dark? I'm trying to think of a series I would consider dark. I would say like True Detective was a dark series.
Yes, that's a great example.
So something kind of like that.
Yes, that's a great example. Dark, gruesome crimes, people, all the people, not too many happy people. Dark
Gotcha.
People with a lot of issues, people
right up
with
my alley.
problems. Yeah, I think you'd really like it.
Yeah, I think I would
shot.
too. And if you like that, I know I've been saying this forever. My favorite on TV, Mindhunter. Check that out. It's along the very same lines.
I definitely want to check that out.
Libby and
love
I have
those
both.
kind.
Yes, me too. And I'm excited for the second season. I wish it was coming out soon.
Excellent. Excellent.
Well, Mom, thank you so much, as always, not only for joining me to see the movie, but for coming on and reviewing it also. I mean, there's just... There's so much.
Thank you, Kev.
There's not enough fun that you can have with Mission Impossible, I think. So.
Not enough. It's the best. And thank you for having me. Thank you, Libby, once again.
Of course, yes. Thank you, Libby. She'll be back next week. And I'm
Great.
sorry that I had to get you on the phone. Next time we'll have enough time you can come into the studio. But still,
I'd love it.
I think it worked out great. So thanks, Mom.
Me too. You bet.
All right. Well, that's all the time that we have for this week. But we will be back next Friday. I'm your guest host, Kevin E., for Libby's Movie Hunt.